I wanted to show you what I think is one of the cooler aspects of a LEHR garden. It's actually the reason I'm patenting it as a biofilter, not as a gardening system. Um, the LEHR garden really has just an amazing ability to filter nutrients out of the water. So let me give you a good example of that. So this is the water supply from my fish tank. My tilapia live in this tank here, and the water as it flows through comes down this tank into this compost bin right here. So about 3 or 4 days ago, I went and cleaned out the chicken coop, especially directly under where the chickens roost for the night. As they poop, the solid waste falls down. It gets moistened by a sprinkler in the morning. It gets wet, it gets kind of soft, and then the chickens walk all over it and they compact it down. It does not get composted. So what I end up with is this layer of compacted chicken poop. It's almost entirely chicken poop. It still smells. It's not super ripe, but there is definitely definitely a chicken poop smell in it. This stuff has just a ton of nitrogen in it. So I put it here about 4 days ago, and I wanted to kind of show you the results that I've got here. So first of all, it's a little hard to see these, but I've got the water test. So this is the ammonia test. For the ammonia test, if the water is yellow, there's no ammonia in it. If the water is green, there's a lot of ammonia in it. This thing should be off the charts, and it's not. This was just taken at the end of this bed, the outlet of this particular thing. So the next is the nitrite test, which is sort of an intermediate. If this was purple, it would be full of nitrite. There's no nitrite in there whatsoever. And then of course the last one is the nitrate. Nitrate is what happens after the biology processes the ammonia, and the nitrate test should be red. If there was any nitrate, again, yellow means there's no nitrate. Now the water is a little bit brown on its own, so it throws off my color by a little bit, but it's pretty clear that there's no green, there's no purple, and there's no red in any of those tests at all. So what's happening is the water, as it flows through here several times a day right now. I'm running this one about 4 times a day right now because I'm trying to get my plants started and my plants growing. And so as the water flows through, the plants go ahead and uptake those nutrients. And I kind of wanted to show you a little bit about what that looks like. So here, let me pick up the camera here. So right here, we have corn and sprouts. We've got a couple of mushrooms here. And these are all growing pretty tall. They're pretty lush. But then as we pass down the garden bed, what you'll see is that things kind of thin out. These plants these are still young plants. They're still growing, but they're not as tall at this side, which tells me that even with excessive amounts of nitrogen, it's really not having even yet enough nitrogen to give the plants everything that they need to have explosive growth. So it just has an extraordinary ability to filter waste out of the water.